come to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. On Tuesday, the 13th of September, William Samoei Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua are going to be sworn in between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. as the president and deputy president-elect, respectively. And in my analysis, I mentioned about the merit that the Supreme Court verdict did not really produce a very good results to Kenyans, apart from solving what to many people was a crisis. And I opined that it put the last nail on what would be election reform agenda. And now the country has moved on because there is a president in place, deputy president in place, and a government, and the new government is going to be solved, to be made. But is going to be formed. But something still remains unresolved in this election. And the only person that seems to be seeing what is remaining unresolved is one Martha Wangari Karua. I want you to listen to this clip by Martha Karua explaining her next course of action in his individual capacity, acknowledging that, of course, the country has moved on, but is thinking of kuingia ndani ya hot air and go to the Arusha court to challenge what, according to her, are facts that Supreme Court did not look into diligently. Listen to that there.
Nyingi kushinda wale wakona na Nairobi ambayo inatajwa ni yao, ndio gavana ni wao, lakini majority of MCAs ni Azimio. Kura nyingi za president za Nairobi zilikuwa ni hiyo, mahesabu hizi ingiani. Kwa hivyo siwezi nikaamini tulishindwa, lakini sababu koti imetoa amri Kenya iendelee kulingana na vile koti iliona. Hiyo ndio rule of law na democracy. Lakini kuvunjika kwa mwiko sio mwisho wa kubishana. Hakuna mahali ingine tunaweza kwenda kubishana kiti ya urais, lakini tunaweza peleka mahali pengine, ndivyo tuelewe kama kweli koti yetu ilitupatia haki. Sasa sio mambo ya uchaguzi, mambo ya haki vile nilienda wakati ule mwingine. Na kwa vile koti ikasema ati tuko na hewa moto, hot air balloon inaweza nipeleka East Africa. I am actually considering whether to travel on a hot air balloon to the East African court just to discuss that judgment. Hii si maono ya Azimio. Now it's me as a Kenyan, because also I'm entitled as an individual. So it's something I'm quite considering. But for now, because I have time, I'll take a break. And also because lazima tungoje, koti ilisema baada ya siku 21 wataleta sababu zao za ile maono walitoa. Na ngojea hizo sababu. Lakini hiyo ya uamuzi hatutakubaliana kama. Tutauheshimu, lakini hatutakubaliana. Sababu tuko na sababu zetu. Wacha koti itoe sababu zake, nitoe zangu nipeleke kwingine.
I want to ask a question to the people of Kenya and viewers of this video. How many people will join Martha Karua in this direction? And what is the future of our electoral process? I insist and I repeat this, that the hybrid system of voting, of integrating the manual and electronic, was used and was introduced in 2010 after the highly contested 2007 general election that almost sank this country to its knees, to solve what was electoral fraud. But in my own understanding, I think the real intention of the hybrid system was not achieved, and it is ironical that while it was introduced to solve electoral fraud, it is actually becoming a very big catalyst and the new age catalyst of electoral fraud. Everyone else may look at Martha Karua's move as hot air. And she is saying that she's not going to the East African Court of Justice to challenge William Ruto's win, but to challenge what, according to her, is electoral fraud. I want to say that maybe the East African Court might not nullify. I remember here in Kenya, she challenged the victory of Anne Waiguru and she won the case there. So, also, who is this? Mike Sonko is also there challenging a Supreme Court verdict. Will there be a higher court? Of course, in terms of presidential, the apex court is the last step. But on what really Martha Karua is waiting for is to get the judgment after 21 days. She will peruse the judgment, and after that, perhaps we're going to understand her next course of action, whether this move is viable. Everyone else can feel fatigued. But I am one person that believes there is one thing that remains unresolved. That is the election reform. Now, in the light of this direction, why do you think Martha Karua is taking this fight? Or what is the interpretation of this fight? I want us to look at that, and I want to humbly request you to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and also like our video. For those who will be attending William Ruto's swearing in, you are told that you are supposed to be in Kasarani by 7 a.m. So, of course, some of us, we don't know whether we are going to make it there. No, but I cannot attend, of course. I might attend at some other time. Because we are earmarked. Now, Martha Karua is teaming with Azimio loyalists to lobby for election reform. And what I see here is a strategy by Martha Karua to take the shoes of Raila Odinga. But as the modern age reform strategy, it is not taking people to the street, but to just use the dispute resolution mechanisms that are available. And the East African Court of Justice is one of those opportunities in the process, in the judicial process, that is available for this. Whether she will be in a position to put on those shoes, it's a question that we will really determine. But I can say there are many people that still believe on the issue of election reform. And this will be a serious packaging to mount a presidential debate, or not a presidential contest in future. I don't know. There is nothing that stops Martha Karua from vying in 2027 or perhaps 2032 if she deems fit or so. But I see Martha Karua planning to remain active and keep the presidential hopes at the Azimio la Umoja through the Azimio la Umoja ticket alive. And there is something to want to say that now everyone else seems to have joined government. Of course, hapa mbele it will start becoming messy with casualties because of unmet expectations. Some people cross expecting really heaven, and when they get there, maybe that will not be. And of course, there will be a lot of reorganizing and restructure. This country needs an alternative voice. If what other people call the opposition, and if Martha Karua take that alternative voice as the opposition politics to package herself for a presidential contest in future. But what they are now doing is to sustain the rigging narrative throughout Ruto's regime. And I can say that if a by-election comes in or if a corruption scandal emerges in William Ruto's regime, I think the bearing will be the rigging narrative. And the fact that someone says, because Raila Odinga's presidential bid has been kept afloat for all those years, because in 2007, that was robbing, that was not rigging. In 2013, he spoke about rigging. In 2017, it was the same narrative of rigging. Now in 2013, it's the same rigging. No. So someone is now picking it up. And I think there are serious questions that emerge on this. At the end of the day, something can be achieved that perhaps there will be a serious debate in this country on whether we should embrace the electronic way and the model and the best design to be taken. I can surely tell you that this case will really put the faces of service providers of the electronic system or of the electronic solution for election system in Africa on the spotlight. If someone was planning to use mathematics, I think people, if this issue about electoral fraud, if it can be proved that the threshold is questionable, and I think that's what they're going for, whether that threshold is questionable, then that decision will actually help to see whether they need to take that direction. But to some extent, it can challenge Ruto's legitimacy in the region and attract a global attention. I want to say that this case is not a case to overturn William Ruto's win. I don't want to be myopic to say that, oh, now William Ruto. No, there's nothing like that. But I think it's going to answer a question that personally I insisted that this country needed not to show their back election reform agenda. I don't know what you think. Martha Karua is saying that this is not the official position of Azimio la Umoja, but she will take this step in her personal capacity and see how this will end at the end of it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my bold.